Yo, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to tell you how to come up with startup ideas as a college student. Remember, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not someone who runs $1 billion startup. Yet, I do know which startups succeed, which startups don't. I'm a keen observer. I know a lot of venture capitalists. I know a lot of startup founders, Y Combinator founders, and I'm just an observer. And personally, I've started a couple of ventures in college. Some of them made pretty good profits. So let me share some of these ventures, and I'll be telling you how you can come up with a startup idea, right? And firstly, let's talk about why you should do a startup. The major reason why you should be doing a startup is A, you're solving a very big problem, which is great because you're having an impact of your own, and B, starting something of your own, starting a business of your own gives you independence, gives you control, right? When you are working for a company, the company has control over you. When you're working for a company, if you're making 1 lakh per month, the company is making 10 lakhs per month off you, right? So the company is getting benefited ultimately, and it's not you who's getting all the value. So both of them have their own pros and cons, but yeah, that's the major reason why you should be starting up. Now, moving on to startup ideas. I was reading this essay by Paul Graham. If you don't know who Paul Graham is, he's the founder of Y Combinator. He was one of the early investors in companies like Airbnb, Dropbox, all of these Y Combinator huge startups, and obviously he's a billionaire now. He has these amazing essays put out about startups. You can either read Y Combinator blogs or Paul Graham's essays. These will give you amazing perspective about the world and how the startup ecosystem functions. And one of his essays is about how to start up. So it's coming from Paul Graham, one of the most credible people in the startup ecosystem out there, and we can trust him. When he says that it's impossible to come up with a startup idea, and if you're someone who's brainstorming, if you're someone who's searching for ideas, I don't think you'll build a successful startup. The reason is pretty simple. If you break it down, what exactly is a startup? A startup is a solution to a problem, and if you're solving a particular problem, then in return the customer pays you. It's as simple as that, right? So instead of looking for ideas, you should be looking for problems. Look around you. What's troubling you the most? What's troubling your neighbor? What's troubling a business? And if you can find that particular problem, and if it's big enough, go out and solve for it. One of the prime taglines of Y Combinator is build what people want. There are so many people in college, even like professional startups, who build things that no one wants. I'll give an example of Boosted Board. You might have seen Boosted Board in Casey Neistat's videos, but if you have been following the news, Boosted Boards isn't doing that great. And maybe the reason could be it did sell a couple of units, it became a viral sensation, but later people realized that it's not something that everyone wants. The market was really small, only few people wanted it, the price was too expensive, and it wasn't a huge market, and it wasn't a real problem that people were solving. Electric skateboards are already popular, so they weren't adding too much value to it, right? So maybe it wasn't a real problem after all, right? And you might see thousands of such startups fail on a day-to-day basis, right? Everyone says 99% of the startups fail, and if you take a brief look at the reason why startups fail, majorly it's because of founder issues. Secondly, it's because they don't have product market fit. Product market fit means that you aren't really building a product that's solving a real problem. And these are the two major reasons why startups fail. The third reason is running out of funds, which comes later. So if you're building something today, then look for a problem. And most founders build great startups when they're solving for a problem that they're facing personally, right? I'll give you an example. Like when I was in my first year of college, I faced this issue where I wasn't able to meet like-minded people. If I wanted to find graphic designers, I didn't know where to go. If I wanted to find like-minded digital marketers, I didn't know where to go. And moreover, people who are like students who are from different colleges in India, there wasn't a single platform to meet. And that's why I created the community myself. We created Clinify. I mean, it's run by a lot of people right now. I'm not the only one, but we created this community where everyone, every smart individual, everyone who wants to learn new things can come, meet. And today we have around 3,600 people on it who are actively participating, practicing English, and doing things that they wouldn't have been doing if they were in like just college. And things like Facebook, Instagram, they're very cluttered. They aren't really focused on students, right? So we created this unique platform on Discord called Clinify, and it worked pretty well. People are loving it. So This was a real problem that we solved because I was facing it personally, right? I'll give you another example. When I started making bits planning videos, a lot of people were asking for mentorship, and they were also asking for mock tests. So we thought, all right, this is a problem that people are facing. So for mentorship, we found WhatsApp groups. I think we run 8-10 WhatsApp groups, and we put in mentors from BITS Pilani who mentored those students. And secondly, we made mock tests ourselves, students of BITS Pilani making bits at mock tests. And then we, gave some for free, sold some, and it was a great business. The reason was pretty simple, because we were giving what the customer wants. We were solving a big problem, which was lack of mentorship and lack of good mock tests out there in the market. So my point is, ultimately you have to solve for a problem, right? Chatbots, for example. What's the problem that chatbots are solving? A is that a lot of live chat agents cannot be online all the time. Humans cannot chat with people 24/7. So you need chatbots to automate certain parts of your businesses, and in exchange for that, you get paid. Right? So it's as simple as that. Always look for problems, look for real problems. If you're a student, look around you and see what's happening. A great way of finding problems is go on Reddit, go on Twitter, and see what people are talking about. See what kind of problems people are facing. For example, White Hat Junior, a lot of people are complaining that instructors on White Hat Junior aren't that great. Maybe that's an opportunity for you to put in better instructors and target that particular market, right? So look for problems. There are tons of problems out there. There are potholes. Potholes is a major problem in Bombay, in Nasik, everywhere, right? So maybe create a product around potholes and see how big the market is. And people usually say find users even before building the product. So see if people are actually ready to buy your product, right? Because ultimately, if you're a startup, if you're a business, you have to sell it. And a good way of finding if people would buy it is to survey them. Ask them, circulate Google Forms and be like, all right, is this a problem you're actually facing, or is it just a hypothetical problem that I'm forming myself? And then be like, would you actually be ready to pay for this solution? And if they say yes, if 1,000 people say yes, you already got thousands of customers, and you can take that business forward, right? Another great way is to get feedback. I cold message anyone and everyone on LinkedIn. I just say, hey, I'm building this product. Do you want to give me feedback? I've built some crazy dumb products in the past which never worked out, and people gave me feedback. A lot of people said, hey, this would not work, Harish, do not, just stop working on it. And when, I'm not saying get discouraged, but think rationally, think if they are actually making sense. And if, say, 20-30 people out there in the industry are saying this is not going to work, then probably it's not going to work. And if so many people are saying that, hey, it's going to work, you could actually do something cool with it, then just take it forward, right? So get feedback, because as students, we lack industry experience, and a great way of getting industry experience is by going to other people on LinkedIn and asking them to mentor you, right? So some of the best friends in the venture capital world and in the founders world are people who were strangers earlier, and I met them through LinkedIn. So it's an amazing place to meet great people, get on one-on-one calls, get on Google Meets, get on Zoom calls, and meet these amazing people. I know some 12th graders whose startups got into Y Combinator. Amazing. Kudos to you guys if you're watching this, and just keep going, guys. It's like this is a thriving ecosystem for the startup world in India. Investor money is pouring in. People are ready to support you if you have the right solution for the right problem. And with that, I'm signing off. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.